Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this afternoon's presentation on the Grade 5 English Home Language, what to expect of Task 8 in the June exam. Before we begin, I am Marita Gericke. I just want to cover some of the basics. You should know me by now, so I just want to make sure that you can hear me. If you are struggling to hear me, just make sure that your audio is on and your speaker volume is turned up. You will automatically be muted when you are joining the class, which means that I will not be able to hear you. But if you have any questions, you can post your questions in the chat after the class. Okay, so let's have a look at what we are doing today. Right, so the topics that we are going to cover today is Task 8, as already said, and the three different sections that you will come across in Task 8. As I said, you've already done your oral, you've done your creative writing, so what's left is your language. Okay, so section A is usually your comprehension, your section B will be your summary, and your section C will be the language part that we will be testing you on. All right, so what can I expect of section A, the comprehension? Now, guys, comprehension is exactly what it says. Comprehension is we want to know, or the examiner wants to know, do you know what you've read? Do you understand what you've read? All right, so there's certain types of questions that you can look out for. Now, your section A usually consists of a question 1 and a question 2. Question 1 is your reading passage, the reading passage that they want you to answer certain questions on. Your question 2 is a visual text. We will get to visual text later on. All right, if we go back to question 1, the passage, the reading passage, what can you expect? What type of questions? Now, I usually say, and it comes to creative writing as well with the essay, there's 5 golden rule questions. Right, you will probably not get all 5 of them. That would make it way too easy. So your 5 questions will probably, there will probably be 2 or 3 of these questions in there somewhere. Okay, so this will be your who, what, where, when, and how. So the passage that they're going to give you, or the story, or you never know what they will give you, but you can expect 1 or 2 or 3 of these questions in there. Who, what, where, when, and how. Very popular question is they want your opinion. So they say, do you agree? Yes or no? And then they want you to give a reason for your answer. Guys, there is no right or wrong for this question as long as your reason for your answer makes sense. Okay, so there is no right or wrong, but if you only write yes or no, obviously you will not get the marks. Your reason needs to make sense to the examiner. All right. Another question that you will probably come across is explain why or why not something happened in the text. Then let's say, for example, they give you the a passage that says seven tips on healthy eating. They will probably ask you to list some of these tips. Okay, so what is good for you, what is not good for you. So this will be your how to list things. Okay, again, testing your knowledge. Do you know what you've read? Then we get to our visual text, our question 2. Now, this is usually a cartoon or an advertisement or a picture, any kind of picture for that matter, where they will obviously be asking you certain questions on. All right. Again, here you will come across your where, when, what, how, and who. All right, and then a very, very popular question is give your opinion. The reason why they're asking this is because the examiner wants to know Do you understand the cartoon or the advertisement or the picture? All right, again, comprehension says it all. They want to know, did you comprehend what you've read? Okay, that takes care of our comprehension or our section A. If we move on to our section B, our summary, this is usually also where they give you a short text or a passage that they want you to read, which is also usually something like, as I used the example previously of 7 tips on healthy eating, this is exactly where you will get kind of the same text, right? With the difference that you now have to tell me what is the different or the 7 tips on healthy eating, for example. So they want you to take out the facts, the main ideas. Okay, so tips from my side on answering this question specifically is, you know that every paragraph that you write has a main idea, something that the writer specifically wants you to know. Okay, paragraphs or texts, passages in this specific question or section is usually already numbered. All you need to go and do is to go and underline the main idea. Okay, main idea, not supporting ideas, main idea. Then you're going to use these main ideas and sentences to write your summary. Guys, very important is they usually give you a word count which you have to stick to. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, the passage they give you is probably around about 150 to 200 words. They want you to give that same information in only 50 words. Okay, seems impossible. It's not. If you only take out the main idea, then you are set. All right. Now, we already start teaching you to write your word count at the bottom when you're finished with your summary. Why? Because in the end of grade 12, you actually get not get marks, but the examiners go and count how many words you've used, and then they stop marking once you've reached your 50 words, like it says here. All right, so it's very important that you stick to the word count and that you do indicate how many words you've used. Right, then I already said that your paragraphs will probably be numbered already, but your facts, the facts that you are summarizing over here, please go and number them. Okay, please go and number them. Your question will probably say something like, give 7 tips on healthy eating. So tip 1, tip 2, tip 3. All right. Then, guys, very important, we tend to just quote from the passage. Please don't do that. You're going to lose your marks. In the end, your passage or your summary counts about 10 marks, or the question counts about 10 marks. 3 of those marks are for your own language use. Okay, so if you just quote it from the passage, you already lose your 3 marks because it's not your own words. So just go and change the sentence here and there, make it a little bit more understandable, easier language. Okay, then they ask you to please write in full sentences. Guys, no abbreviations, no slang, no nothing like that. And remember, a full sentence is not necessarily 8 to 10 words long. Okay, it's not necessarily 8 to 10 words long. You can shorten your sentences. Okay, that is our section B of this paper. Then we go on to section C. Okay, so where do I go and look for the study material? Okay, so in your study guide, guys, you know that in your index, or it gives you an index when you open your book, and then it tells you, okay, in week 1, you're going to do listening comprehension, you're going to do reading, you're going to do some writing. After that is this very extremely important page in your study guide. Okay, what does it tell you? Let's have a look. It says, what is the lesson elements in each lesson? Okay, and then it gives you all of these icons. Okay, I'm somewhat going to call it your emojis of your study guide. Okay, because it's a picture. That's the only way or only reason that I say that it's emojis. Okay, but these are the icons that they use. Okay, if you have a look at the first one, it says vocabulary. Usually, this is before you have a reading piece or a passage. They will give you the meaning of some of the words. All right, and this icon will appear over there because it tells you, okay, there are new words. Then they have that awesome picture of a brain or a head with an exclamation mark. This is for you to take note. This is very important information in your study guide. Then it gives you some tips, and the most important one, what do you need to go and study, is this one. The paper with the magnifying glass. Now, detectives in the olden days, right? If you watched Pink Panther, you would know that that detective has always had a magnifying glass because he was looking for clues. Okay, so this is your clues regarding your language paper. Okay, so this is where you will find your study material. Usually it's short pieces of information that tells you, okay, this is what an antonym is, this is what a synonym is, this is a collective noun, this is present, past, and future tense, whatever. All language structures is discussed with this icon, the paper with the magnifying glass. So be a detective and go and find your study material in your study guide. Right, so that is my sing and dance for today. Just a tip on your section A, B, and C on task 8. Right. Are there any questions? Doesn't seem to be. Right, then from my side, guys, I just want to say good luck. I will be holding thumbs for you. I'll be cheering from the sideline. You can do this. Okay, you've got this. Okay, so this presentation is available for download by clicking on the download option in the bottom left corner. And then if you have any other questions, please send your questions to info@impact.co.za. Have a wonderful afternoon.